Are you dealing with chronic fatigue, Epstein-Barr virus, and even maybe mono? In today's video, I'm going to share with you some tips to resolve this chronic illness. And I'm also going to share with you my personal experience with these conditions and how I got over them naturally in today's video. Stay tuned for more details. Welcome friends, I'm Dr. Melissa Gallagher and I'm so excited to have you join me here today. Welcome to Natural Health Resources. I hope you will join my community here. If you are not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. Not only am I the founder of Natural Health Resources and a naturopathic physician, I have had my own personal experiences with chronic illness. Today's video is really targeted to the individuals who are dealing with crippling Epstein-Barr virus, chronic fatigue, and mono. Those are three conditions that I am very familiar with. In fact, they are what got me into studying nutrition, gathering information to heal my body. That led to not only receiving a master's in nutrition, but also led me into my doctorate work as a naturopathic physician. So I want to share with you what happened to me in my 20s, really briefly, because I think this is really important. I've had a lot of folks comment, oh, you don't know what it's like to be ill and you look really healthy. And I can tell you, not only did I look awful, but I really felt awful. And there was a moment when I literally was stuck in bed and couldn't get up. I had just a really bad case of Epstein-Barr virus that I didn't really know and didn't really realize for at least 3 months. But essentially, I know what it's like to feel not only run down, but also I had work obligations. I was a new 20-something professional trying to prove myself and just really trying to kind of get my bearings straight in the corporate world. And I had a lot of stress. I had a stressful relationship. I just had all of these things that were combating my body. And I was run down. And essentially, a lot of times what happens is when we're stressed out and run down, it's like the perfect environment, perfect storm, if you will, for us to just be completely bombarded by stress and illness. And really, viral invasions can easily take root in a body that is compromised. And stressed bodies, not well-nourished bodies, not well-loved bodies, really tend to be susceptible. And I'll be honest with you, I was not loving my body. And I wasn't treating it as a temple, and I wasn't eating the right foods, I wasn't sleeping the right amount of time, I wasn't taking any of the core nutrients to really support my body. So what happened with me, I know can happen to you. I was able to get to the root of my various imbalances. I was able to actually dig into the root of the Epstein-Barr virus and the mono and the chronic fatigue and the complementary conditions that came with that. And I started to peel back the layers of my health and imbalances and really got to cellularly rejuvenating my cells, rejuvenating and boosting my immune system. I did a lot of work. It took multiple years. As it took time for me to heal my body, I started studying, and that's how I got into my work in my master's program. And then I was still healing even when I went into my doctorate. But I really learned how to take care of my body, to watch the signs of my own immune compromised state. And I also learned how to treat my body in a way that was nourishing and nurturing and loving. One of the things that is really problemsome with EBV, Epstein-Barr virus, there's two types of viruses. EBV1 tends to be 3 to 4, sometimes 3 to 6 months in length. EBV2, Epstein-Barr virus 2, that's the more chronic, the more troublesome, longer term viral invasion. Essentially, you can be in this state for 12 to 18 months. That's where I was. I was 3 months into the virus when I actually was given the diagnosis, and the prognosis was, hey, you're going to be feeling bad for another probably 9 to 12 months, and drink some water and take some vitamin C. That was what I was told. So I'm here to share with you that there is another way. While there isn't a pill or prescription medication you can take to resolve Epstein-Barr virus, mono, or chronic fatigue, there are steps and ways to resolve your immunocompromised state, to boost your immune system, to nourish your body, and to balance your adrenals that are often depleted and fully fatigued. I am going to recommend that you check out my 5 steps to resolving EBV and chronic fatigue. That download, that'll be something that'll get you kick-started on your journey to wellness. But I want to share with you the first step. So I actually want to share with you the book that inspired me I'm going to share this video. This is actually a book, The Immune System Cure. This is the first book that I read that kicked off my healing journey to combat Epstein-Barr virus. That's when I really kind of understood that my immune system was highly compromised. And this talks a lot about foods. It talks a lot about phytonutrients. It talks about boosting your cellular energy using CoQ10 and really kind of resolving your metabolic imbalances and your hormonal imbalances. So if you are dealing with this, please check this out. This is a great book to kickstart your healing. It'll power, charge, and supercharge your health. The first step is to really look at balancing your immune system. I have found that IP6 inositol is a huge super immuno booster. In my life, I used Cell Forte Max, and I will link a product link down below. It's by Enzymatic Therapies. That is an essential item on any healing protocol when you're dealing with Epstein-Barr or chronic fatigue. The second thing is you want to look at balancing your cortisol levels and addressing any adrenal fatigue. So an adrenal stress test is essential, the saliva testing, and I do those kits in my office. I had run those, and I still run those on myself because chronic fatigue tends to be something that is going to follow you through the course of your life. And when you get run down and you're dealing with stress, that's when it rears its ugly head. And if you are dealing with this, you know what it's like. And there are telltale signs that you want to start to look out for. Your body's going to talk to you and let you know when it's time to take a time out, recharge, regroup, renourish, rebalance. That's what I do on a monthly, annual basis. The second thing in the healing program for Epstein-Barr virus is to really look at your mitochondria, the heart of your cells. You want to really boost the mitochondria. The heart of your cells is the really true way to power through chronic fatigue and to power through the viral invasion of Epstein-Barr. Because it's a pox virus, it can be really sneaky and can lie dormant in your spinal column over the course of several years, sometimes several decades. It's not uncommon for me to have women come to my practice in their 50s that have an EBV, an Epstein-Barr viral outbreak, or a case where they've been diagnosed with chronic fatigue and they see that there's probably been some mono exposure in their background, either through children or even college years. One of the things that I want to caution you against is it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you've had recent exposure. That's where the pox virus is really sneaky. My exposure was actually when I was in 6th grade, and I had an additional exposure when I was a freshman in college. It wasn't until 6 years later, when I was 22, 23, that I started to showcase the signs of Epstein-Barr virus and was completely wiped out. To supercharge your mitochondria, I love to incorporate CoQ10. Very, very high levels of CoQ10 is supremely beneficial to powering up your cells. It also aids in the Cell Forte impact in boosting your natural fighting cells that will help combat the virus. So you want to supercharge your viral fighting cells, and then you also want to supercharge all of the cells by incorporating CoQ10. Similarly, when you are addressing the adrenals, you want to make sure that you are taking adaptogenic herbs. For me, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm a huge, huge proponent of all adaptogenic herbs. They tend to be in the category of ashwagandha, maca, rhodiola, holy basil. The adaptogenic herb that for me was a power punch, a powerhouse, was rhodiola. I found rhodiola to be the most impactful powerhouse for me. Adaptogenically, it works well with mental and physical stress. So if you're working out and you're working and you're undergoing a lot of emotional stress, rhodiola is great for that. You want to make sure if you do take it, you take it only in the morning. You don't want to take rhodiola past noon because you might be up later at night. Those are 3 supplement tips that I found helpful and are always on my protocol. And I just want to quickly communicate with you. I totally know what it's like. I really, I might look super healthy now, and I really do try to live a healthy lifestyle. But sometimes I do feel run down, especially when mommy life and running my practice and being a businesswoman really taxes my body. And I have learned to learn how to say no. I think that's one of the big things, is that people pleasing tends to be a big factor with folks that have EBV and mono. And we often have a really hard ability to say no to people, and we're trying to go and do and take care of everybody else, that we end up not taking care of ourselves. So if there's anything that I can offer to you from my own experiences, is that it's okay to say no. That's why when we're on airplanes and they go through the safety protocols and they say, when the airbags deploy, you want to make sure you put that on first before you help anybody else. Well, that's true. That's the reality of viral invasions and keeping our body as immuno-boosted as we can. You cannot take care of anybody else or anything in your life without taking care of yourself first. And it's not selfish to put your health first, because when you do, you are better equipped and more capable of taking care of everybody else in your life. And this is particularly for all the women and all the caregivers out there. It's so important that you do put yourself first, because if you don't, who will? So those are my tips for you today. I hope you found this helpful. And again, friends, if you found this impactful, please share these words of wisdom and tips to your friends and family. Share it on Facebook or the social site, hashtag 40overtherainbow, so that you can enter yourself in our daily contest where I will be choosing winners. I always choose a winner the next day. And if you haven't checked out Instagram TV, I am on there, and that's where I announce daily our winners for the free 15-minute consultation with me. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. Don't forget to ring the bell, where I'm going to be going live several times this month, and I hope you'll join me there on one of the weekends coming up soon. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and stay tuned. There's another wonderful, impactful video coming your way tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.